I saw her last time in 25 May, now 2022. I nearly couldn't recognize my own daughter. I had a picture of her sent it by somebody from August 2021, and this is what I expected to see, and not what I remembered from 4 years earlier, which was the last time I had seen her. She was like just a empty shell of who she once were, and with 10 kilo of makeup, far too big pants, and big jackets. It was warm, so she was the only one who kept a jacket on in the restaurant. We were Italian place in Arendal Centrum, owned by a millionaire from Italy. She was really pale, like she's haven't been out in the sun at all. So and false eyelashes. So because of all the makeup and that she was so pale, together with the big clothes she was wearing. I could notice the whole time she was nervous what to say, what she not to say, like somebody had talked to her in advance what she was allowed to say or not. So it ended that she nearly didn't dare to speak at all because of that. And I do remember the one time a couple of years ago, like in 2015, when she said she was forced to play a game, that she was a lot hurted, and that she couldn't even hold a pencil in her hand because the fingers hurted so much after it. That Ann-Christine was screaming to her and shout to her, really aggressive, that she had to go in to her room. And then I heard that my daughter was really, really scared of Ann-Christine, and it also stands in documents where she says she's scared of both Jens and Ann-Christine because they're angry at her all the time. So they also have full control over her, like she's not allowed to use internet without being in control of it, or a mobile phone. They have complete control over. So they even use her name for things that they want, like for example to get in the doctor journal with the Bloombucks under the arms. They say, yeah, Angel don't want it in. I mean, which child don't want in a documentation that prove that people are doing child abuse to them? Of course, every child victim of child abuse would like to be helped, so whatever evidence that could prove it, of course the child would like to have in. So it's of course they don't want that documentation in and use her name. Same as they do, Angel don't want to put up another summer, but the truth is they don't want to put up another summer. And because they didn't like that I had asked her for a little walk outside this Italian restaurant, who lasted for like between 7 and 10 minutes somewhere in fresh air in the sun. So yeah, I find that extremely weird. It's really like they treat her like a prisoner, like she's and misuse her in things for money. Yeah, I could tell a little bit what happened when after the telephone call, when I did go up to the CPU office in Fulan and asked, hey, can you make sure my daughter gets food, because I was on the telephone with her and she was crying and saying she don't get food, etc. And yeah, they locked the door for me, so I couldn't get in, and I ended sitting in my car on the parking place wondering what to do, because I just been on the phone. My child is psychologically breaking down, crying, saying she don't get food when she's hungry, and don't dare to ask because she's scared of the people living there, Ann-Christine and Jens. So yeah, then the local police officer Robert Walter Lee came, and he arrested me. I was just peacefully sitting in my car. I had a picture of my daughter in my car in glass and frame. This he threw hard in my car till the glass broke, so it actually got ruined. Then he took me to Arendal police station, and yeah, further on I was on a prison tour in 5 different prisons in Norway. Kristiansand, Arendal, Stavanger, Bredtvet, Oslo, all over the place, for actually just asking them to give food to my daughter when she told me she don't get, and if I could ask for her if they could give her food. Yeah, in the prisons I was abused, I was tortured. Like examples is put into a prison cell with urine, without food for 2 days, not allowed to shower for a couple of days, not allowed to go to school in the prison, or anything else that do that I would be out of the prison cell like the other prisoners. They did handcuff torture on me, and I ended up with bleeding around my wrists from it, and then they put me to an isolation cell. From there they just paid off a doctor to put me off on into a mental hospital in Oslo. There on that journal, I must not forget that it stands on the intake the abuse marks given from the handcuff torture done by police officers and prison guards in Bredtvet prison in Drammen in Norway. So yeah, and then from there they brought me to the hospital in Kristiansand, and that was 6 police car changes. So I was treated like I was a terrorist, which actually I just had asked them to give food to my daughter. So it was really crazy. And yeah, at Kristiansand Hospital they paid off another doctor called Fredrik Garmannslund to just write some lies about me. There was no evaluation or tests or nothing done, just bought and paid diagnose and bought and paid signing of a doctor who didn't know me at all. So and there I was threatened, I was abused by a Kosovo-Albanian Moroccan in the hospital itself, which actually worked there. So and I couldn't get out. So they also doped me there with all kind of things, holding me down for people and put it in me injections I didn't even know what was. But and then they kind of threatened me there to not even mention my daughter's name, and to not have court cases to get her returned, and not document about the building case, and nothing about the case on Facebook, etc. And this all lasted like altogether like at least 2 years or so, and they still kept full control of me when I was on the outside, when I was out of it, by coming to my door, hold me down, and keep doping me, and misuse of police, and that also continued. And so I didn't dare anything else on a certain point, because I just couldn't take the abuse and the torture and the imprisonments and the harassment and all of it any longer. It all seemed kind of unreal, because I was just a mother who wanted my child back, who was unfairly and unrightfully taken away from me just because I had won a building case towards Frola Kommun and the earlier neighbors back in Froland. And if you seek on my name on YouTube, you can find TV news of the building case, and you can also find links with marks of the handcuff torture they did to me in Bredtvet prison. And other things. One song I made out of that is from Angel of Woman's Diary Chapter 2 album. It's called Imprisoned. I made myself a music video to that one, which is also to be found on YouTube. Angel of Woman's Diary Chapter 2 Imprisoned.